From the swamp, learned how to move in the rain. Raised in Texas, boys better move when I swing. Waka flocka, now I'm so smooth with the flame. It look impossible, but I'm Tom Cruise with the aim. From the swamp.
Hey, what's going on, people? I'd like to welcome y'all back to another episode of Raw Brilliance. I am your boy, Mansa, and today we got a friend of the show, a special guest, a producer. He's a musician first, then a producer, on the beats and shit. And he got some extra light in there, so now y'all can see him now and shit. But I'd like to welcome to the show my boy, King IU. What's poppin', my brother?
What's good with you, bro?
Shit, same old. Out here grinding, trying to get it.
I hear that.
Yeah. But shit, man, what you been on lately? On the whole music side of things and everything, you're beat making and producing. Are you working with any new artists? What's going on with you?
Yeah, so recently I've been trying to branch out lately. So once I get caught up with my schedule, my main two artists, you know what I'm saying, I got, well, one of them, we got at least 21 songs that we have made in like the last 2 weeks.
Oh, word?
Yeah.
In 2 weeks?
In 2 weeks.
Damn.
So
Y'all on it.
Not all the beats are recorded to, but like, you know what I'm saying, I sit down with them,
Yeah.
customize the beats how we want them to go. And then, you know what I'm saying, with him, well, both of them, I do a lot of A&R, and so I go to the studio with them, but hey, say this, don't say that, say it like this, or, you know what I'm saying, like, I don't like that, you know what I'm saying, I know you can go harder, you know what I'm saying, really put, like pouring into them and then trying to get them to really develop as their own selves, not trying to sound like somebody else, not trying to reduplicate the same type of vibes per se. I mean, that vibe is kind of going to be there, like whether it's like some upbeat tempo, club song, or if it's like some R&B type of things. We want that vibe to be there, but it's not that, hey, I got to sound like the Baby, or I got to sound like Drake. Like, no, be you. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then the whole purpose is once you find your own sound, you will be like the next Baby and the next Drake or whoever, you know what I'm saying, the individual is aspiring to be, but they can be themselves.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they have a lot of potential, so I'm trying to really bring it out. So when they look up and be like, man, I could have been like the rest of these niggas that didn't make it and just pursuing and wasting a lot of money going to studios and investing into beats. Because, I mean, that's the easy part. I ain't gonna lie to you. Buying a beat from somebody saying, hey, this is cold, I'm gonna go right to it, and you write down some bullshit, you go to the studio, and it comes out, you know what I'm saying, the engineer do the best they can, you drop it, and that was all you did. Even if it was a great song, you have to market your song. You have to make sure that you did the paperwork. You want to give everybody their credit so everybody's getting paid from the song. Because, you know what I'm saying, every time you buy a beat, that's really a down payment. That's how much the beat is. You know what I'm saying? If you bought a beat and a motherfucker charging you like about $100, $250, they at least are long-term expecting that song at least will make at least $250,000. Because if you're doing your songs right, you know what I'm saying, you can market your songs so where you can get on 2K. You can get on any movie that you are interested in. You know what I'm saying? You got to start to think as an artist, what's the whole purpose of this song besides people liking, the type of quality of music that I put out. You know what I'm saying? What's my goal? What's my ambition? What's my drive? Like, look at Lil Yachty. You know what I'm saying? Lil Yachty does little voiceovers. You know what I'm saying? He did more than just music. He made himself a brand to where he got endorsements from Sprite, from all these other different names where it was like, man.
Yeah, for fact.
It looked easy, and it can be easy, but you know what I'm saying? Again, you got to have a persona. You got to have a sonic sound. You know what I'm saying? You got to be yourself. You got to have something that's a little different than everybody else. Be edgy. You know what I'm saying? You got to stay in the same pocket.
Yeah.
And that's just my take on it, but it's just like whatever.
So basically what you saying is you been an A&R in 2020, huh?
Man, I've been doing it for like at least since 2016.
Shit. Well,
since I got out the army and shit, I always knew like, hey man, I used to tell everybody in the army like, dog, when I went to the military, when I first went to the military, I was in charge of 250 people. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is like at your basic, your AIG. You know what I'm saying? I was in the infantry, so we was at AIG. So drill sergeant was like, hey, you know what I'm saying, he gonna step up. And nobody wanted to step up. So I was like, man, I look left and right. You know, we all at attention. I look left and right. I was like, man, drill sergeant, I got it. He was like, who is this? I was like, drill sergeant, my name is Barrett, drill sergeant, you know what I'm saying? And he was like, all right. He was like, Barrett, he was like, when I leave this room, he's like, pick your team leaders, you know what I'm saying, your squad leaders, whatever. So after that, you know what I'm saying, now everybody wanted to, hey, man, I got your back, dog. Hey, dog. Ooh. So after that point, bro, I saw how influential my personality was quick, you know what I'm saying? Because I've always been the same person. I've been like that my whole life.
Yeah.
But in the military, the whole point of saying that was that I'll just come up with like weird stuff. Like I'll walk around and be like, hot tamale. And everybody just be like, hot tamale. And they just become like a little echo, but it was like fun. It had the morale high, you know what I'm saying? I had like little, you know what I'm saying, songs and shit besides like, you know, making our own different cadences or whatnot.
Yeah, for sure.
People loved it, bro. And I always used to tell them like, hey, bro, one day I'm going to be big, you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all going to, like, remember my name, G. Like, I'm going to be big. I'm going to, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to be producing the A&R and, you know what I'm saying, throwing parties and whatnot.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what I did when I got in 2016. You know what I'm saying? I had parties. You know what I'm saying? I linked up with a couple artists. I found one that, you know what I'm saying, was like my best friend since I've been out here. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to King D2E. You know what I'm saying?
So basically, what you're saying is you always been a leader of men and you always known the direction that you want to go into.
Yeah, I have vision. I'll put it like that. I have vision. You know what I'm saying? I think that's a gift. Because I think with everybody who is an entrepreneur of some sort, you have that vision. You know what I'm saying? That's a God-given talent that a lot of people, you know what I'm saying, choose to ignore. But a lot of people that are active on that, we be like, you know what? And then we write it down. I'm planning to do this. I'm going to do this like this. And I'm going to come this way. Ain't nobody doing it like that. That's cold. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, God. You know what I'm saying? No, for real. So it's like when you go through all those processes, and then you know you might get a no because you had to go ask for something sometimes, or you know what I'm saying, it didn't work out in the beginning how you wanted to in the planning process, so you get rerouted. Reroutes are good. I like a reroute. A good detour is good for you. You know what I'm saying? Because you was already thinking like, oh, this finna
you gonna get a reroute regardless. Like it's gonna
get a reroute. That's life.
You know what I mean, like life is gonna happen to you. It's gonna happen.
So you have to be appreciative and understand it. Like, hey, even though this is my time frame, this is the way I seen it. When you get that reroute, it 9 times out of 10 be better than your initial plan.
Exactly what we were talking about before we came on was enjoying the process. So that's a part of the process. That reroute, adapting, switching lanes, and still staying on course to reach your goal. Like the course might change, but you still got such and such destination in your navigation though. So it might just switch up on you and change, you know what I mean, the route that you take. But as long as you keep fighting and try and get there, you know what I mean, enjoy that ride, man, because it's going to get bumpy sometime. Everybody going to feel life at some point. I don't care who you are. If you're born rich or whatever, you going to feel it, my nigga. So, but other than your own artist, though, what are you listening to and who are you up on right now?
Man, I just been listening to IDK. I've been listening to a dude in Austin named who I'm about to link up with, Devo Dub. I think I'm saying his name wrong. Let me see. But I don't know, outside of, I don't know, I've been listening to anybody who's just like new. I'm not trying to listen to the same circle of 21 Savage, The Baby, Lil Baby, you know what I'm saying, Lil Yachty. Like, I'm trying to like kind of branch out to all those other certified names that may be from East, West Coast. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been really looking for, you know, people from back home in Chicago, and I really ain't been finding not too many. I ain't gonna lie to you. I got a few people that I rock with, you know what I'm saying, my homeboys, you know what I'm saying, Mojo Two-Time, you know what I'm saying, Frost P. Cold Chain, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, shout out to my boys. But it's like, I don't really try to stick to the same stuff. I really try to just be really open-minded. Sometimes I just go to Apple and be like, hey, play the new recent, you know what I'm saying, music that came out today or this week, this month, whatever.
Do you like what's that kid name? King Von?
Yeah, I fuck with him.
Yeah, that nigga straight though. Yeah, I was about to say.
I fuck with him. I just hope he can stay out of trouble, bro. Like that's the thing.
Yeah,
we always get a great talent like that. And then,
everybody I found out that's like on like drill music, whether it's New York or Chicago, they be like in some like in some real life situations, bro. Like they be really out here.
Yeah, I just hope he don't say nothing that's gonna get him indictments. Nothing, you know what I'm saying? Like I hope he even just like learn to move different. You know what I'm saying? I want the best for dude. Period. And that's not just him. That's anybody that start to get that limelight because you know what I'm saying. You see how often they're not. You know what I'm saying. You get you know what I'm saying. Shout out to NBA YoungBoy. My man, you know, had a lot going on. He had a lot spinning. And it's like, bro, you had you know what I'm saying, you had this one downfall, and now you finna go away for a good grip.
Who is?
NBA.
What did he do?
Bro got raided.
He got raided?
He got raided like a couple weeks ago.
I just read a story where he was talking about he was gonna get Wayne's daughter pregnant or something. I don't think the nigga worried about going to jail.
He just found out he was having a baby that same day. Or that same night, and then boom, got raided.
Last time had a baby by Wayne.
No, they ain't had a baby. I don't know who you know what I'm saying. I ain't even dig deep to even know like who.
Oh, he started talking about that, and then that night he got raided.
Yeah, like he found out he was having a new baby on the way.
What they find?
Guns, pills, drugs, all kind of shit.
Like,
I'm like, damn, bro. I'm like, but then. I look at it, I'm like, well, he in Louisiana, they trying to do him like how they did Boosie.
That nigga was in Louisiana?
Yeah.
Bruh, listen, Boosie told that nigga get the fuck out of Louisiana. Like,
I try to tell you, boy.
Wayne said that shit too. Like, everybody like, man.
Louisiana is dirty.
Like, nigga, that is
dirty, but Louisiana.
Bruh, Louisiana still got chain gangs, bruh. Like, you know they real. Them niggas got chain gangs. I'm talking about on the side of the road, my nigga. Chain gangs, they got pitch axes or whatever the fuck they call, and they out here swinging. Like Louisiana is a real fucking dirty South place. Like
that's a whole different entity within.
Yo, they trying to hang niggas down there, bro. Like you guys to get the fuck and all the shit he be doing and talking about, bro. Come on,
that's what I be saying, bro. Anything that could be an indictment.
It's too many examples out there. And you got Boosie right there to talk to. Like, man, that nigga been through everything you going through and some, my nigga. Like, maybe not everything, but he ain't been through, Boosie ain't been through hell and back, bro. Like, if you listen to anybody in this game, especially NBA YoungBoy, you listen to Boosie, my nigga.
Do you feel like we have an accountability or a mentorship issue?
Who?
You know, I'm just going to say black people because, you know what I'm saying, we're dominant within hip-hop.
That's
so.
True.
Based off what you just said, Boosie is right there in Louisiana. You know what I'm saying? He been through the same thing.
That ain't about that. That's about a 20-year-old kid, bro, with a lot of money, and you can't tell him shit right now. I was 20 with no money, my nigga, and you couldn't tell me shit. This nigga got song after song on billboards with millions. He for sure got millions because he like the YouTube king right now and shit. He for sure got millions, like certified millions, bro.
He do, but it's still like
he
just
20.
Because you got it. Why we can't be more like?
It don't matter what else you say, other than 20 with millions from the hood, my nigga. Like, what are you saying? You know what the situation is right now. And that nigga's talented.
But it's a mindset too, though, bro.
But what is the mindset of the hood, though? Of course, it's the mindset of the hood. Like, you come from the hood. Nobody else in your family had this type of money, bro. Not this type of fame and notoriety. Nobody else in your family. You one of one in your family and all of your friends. You are the savior at 20 years old. The savior, bro. Like, what do you mean? He don't even know his own mentality right now. He hadn't even found out who he was before all this extra shit got through his way. And all money do is amplify who you are. and he's a 20-year-old black kid from the hood with a lot of pent-up anger and aggression or whatever, and now you throw money at that and it inflames that shit, because now you can't tell me shit. I can bum my way out of jail. I can buy the best lawyers. I can go to out of country if I want to, or go dip here or dip there or buy this or whatever. You can't tell me shit.
You know what you saying?
I mean? Well, so, yeah.
You know what you really saying, though?
It's definitely mental issues, like trauma and shit from the hood.
But the bigger picture is that we get all that shit and we don't humble the fuck up.
Huh?
I said, what you really said out of all of that is that we get all these different statuses, the money, the fame, the girls, whatever, and our humility just be so trash.
That's not what I'm saying, bro.
No, I mean, that's how I'm taking it, because it's like,
I'm not taking it. You taking it as a general, like, as I'm talking about all our people. I'm talking about this specific 20-year-old kid right now.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, as if I put myself in his shoes, right, knowing what I know, you know what I'm saying? I'm like,
you at 20 years old with millions of dollars, what are you doing?
I'm investing.
Bro, at 20 years old, that's what you thinking about. Is that what you was on?
Bro,
okay, so in the situation that you were raised in, were they talking about that around you? Or did you just
the school I went to?
Huh?
I couldn't graduate high school unless I took microeconomics. So I knew about economics. I knew how to move money around a little bit.
So you were that kid or whatever who paid attention to that. You were rare, I guess. You know what I mean? Because at 20 years old, this dude was not thinking about investing. I knew I wanted to go to college and I knew I wanted to be a businessman and shit. But if you gave me a fucking like $1,000 at 20, bro, like I'm going kick shopping, bro. Like I was a huge sneakerhead before I had money, and I was saving and scrapping pennies. If I got more money, I'm going to go buy shit that I want and I can never afford or whatever and stuff like that. That was me. I wasn't. I wasn't as well read.
That's just like how I look at that. Is just like, you know, because I have, you know, we all trapped at some point in our lives, I'm sure, or done something that we gotta hustle to go get it. So it's like, hey, when you go get that money and you got money saved up, of course you're gonna go bless yourself. I mean, that's just how you do kind of, you know. At least where I'm from, like in Chicago, like the way you dress is everything, bro. Like we are big on like fashion and, you know what I'm saying? I mean, just like down here, but it's a little different, you know what I'm saying? Because you got 4 seasons. So you're not wearing exactly the same shit all year. You got to, you know what I'm saying?
So you don't think NBA YoungBoy wasn't investing or is investing?
I don't think so.
Why not though?
I mean, who's around him to tell him about that?
But he got, the bigger your money to get, the more people who have money are around you, the more advice you're going to get about, like, even if he is 20, like now, he probably didn't know that shit. But once you start making that money and meet certain people, and you got Boosie and T.I.'s and Wayne and all of them, like, coming at you, you seeing what they doing, he's obviously a smart young man or whatever. Like, it don't matter what you think about him. As a black man, as like a young black kid, he's pretty brilliant and really talented. And at first, I didn't really give him the benefit of the doubt when I first started hearing about him, like years ago or whatever. And I was just like, it's just a young kid out here. But then when I really actually took the time to listen to him, I became a fan. Like, he's really talented, you know what I mean? And he really has substance in his music. He talks about his pain and his traumas and all that type of shit. And not just the drugs and all of that. You know what I mean? So I say all that to say this. Like, he's in rooms now absorbing more information. Like, to get to where he's got to at 20 years old shows that he has, you know, the brain power to at least acknowledge his surroundings and adapt and grow from it or whatever. So I would say he's around people and he's probably investing in certain things. Now, his antics outside of that, because you can look at T.I. right now, how everybody looks at him. It's like a pillar in the game and in the industry and whatnot. When he was 20, he was NBA YoungBoy probably times 2. Like, he was really going to prison for guns and shit, like, after he was rich and famous. You know what I mean?
T.I.
He was so like, they do stupid shit, but it don't mean that they not investing and shit like that. Because I'm pretty sure even though T.I. was out there wilding and getting in shootouts and shit, he was still investing. You know what I mean? And so I'm just trying to say that to say that.
Credit to that is because of the quality of woman he had in his life too, though. Let's just keep it real. Tiny was already on, bro. Tiny helped him get on. So
okay.
she helped. So
I wouldn't say she helped him get on because he was already had a. The only reason Tiny showed him interest or whatever is because he was already T.I. in Atlanta. Like he was already Tip in the streets.
I saw that documentary.
Huh?
They talked about on one of them shows back in the day about how pretty much how they met, and you know what I'm saying, like he was doing his street thing and everything, and then he started rapping, and then went from there. But she was showing him the game, you know what I'm saying, like
exactly.
Hey, but you know what I'm saying, this is how you got to move, type shit.
Because she was in the industry and shit like that, and that's one of my points as well with NBA YoungBoy though. Okay. He got multiple girls or whatever, baby mama. Some of them happen to be in the industry. Their parents are in the industry. They hear around industry people all the time. You think ain't none of them people telling them about the game and shit you need to do? They telling him, he listening. He just still choose to do what the fuck he want to do because he 20. Like, I don't even know how. I just see a 20-year-old kid who can do what he want right now or whatever, and everything is at his fingertips. The world is literally in his hand, coming from the situation. Like, if you listen to his music coming from them situations, the nigga just gonna be out here wilding, bro. He gonna be out here wilding for a little bit. Like, maybe at 21, he might see the light. Everybody can't go to the military and be responsible like you, my boy. I was
responsible before the military. I was
out here.
The military. I went there because I was like, one, I was angry. You know what I'm saying? I did want bodies. So that's why I went infantry. But at the same time, I'm glad I didn't get the chance to do a lot of the things that I aspired to do when I initially went in. And
because you had the foresight.
It showed me a different light of not only my own intentions and how they were unpure, but at the same time, it was like, damn, bro, like there's greater and there's more than what you was initially looking for. But my other point was that I also went to the military because I'm like, I wanted power. Money and power are two things that I'm like, I have to have in life. And one can bring the other. You know what I'm saying?
Actually, they both bring one another. Regardless, if you get either one, you're gonna get the other.
If you know how to use them, but at the same time, if you had just money and you didn't have the persona to even hold that power or wield it, it doesn't work for you. You know what I'm saying? Like the way my upbringing was, it's like, bro, I'm pretty fluid, bro. I can pretty much talk and mingle with any and everybody. You know what I'm saying? The most hood motherfucker to, you know what I'm saying, your most white collar, don't work, I got stocks, you know what I'm saying, old rich money people. You feel me? Like I've been there, done that. So it's like, and that's why I'm like, hey, some of us, we just really, when you take the time out, you be like, damn, bro, I do appreciate the blessings that life has, you know what I'm saying, bestowed on me to kind of go through on my own, because from high school on up, I wasn't with my childhood friends. You feel me? I had to do a lot of things by myself. Go through a whole bunch of different experiences that I never would have had if I would have stayed back, you know what I'm saying, my hometown.
Yeah,
you know
facts.
I wouldn't have seen a whole bunch of, you know what I'm saying, different basketball experiences, and my game wouldn't have been the same. Like, I mean, it's a whole bunch of things I could rant about, but it's like, man, you got to look at that stuff and be like, hey, how can I make everything else better?
That right there is life, though. You know what I mean? Like, you got to move outside of your comfort zone, and you got to move outside of where you grew up to see other things, to get a new perspective on life and just everything. Like, and you got to experience things, like, to see for yourself or whatever. Because if you stay in one neighborhood your whole life, like, you won't have no type of, reference to anything. You'll just be pretty much stuck in this one point of view, you know what I mean, from your blocks and from your walls or whatever. So, but what I was saying is you had that foresight at a young age to, like, I need to separate myself from whatever your situation was. I need to go to the military or for this reason and this reason or whatever. Like for money and power or whatever it was, but to get money or that in your head, you had to remove yourself. You know what I mean? To do it in a legit right way, you have to remove yourself and go to the military or whatever, or choose that route. But you have the foresight to do that, you know? And I can respect that. I'm just saying, like, young dudes like me who were just completely lost out here, bro, like, I knew I wanted to be a businessman and I knew I thought I was going to play sports or whatever. And I don't know. I just knew I wanted to go to college and shit. I started out as a mechanical engineer was my major. Well, that's what I was going to be. And then everything else just started changing. So I feel you, bro. Like, if I didn't leave my little small town of Somerville, like, it's no telling how I would have been or where I would have ended up, you know, because I was already young and angry and fighting all the time and shit like that. So I feel you, my dude. I don't know. I just hope NBA Youngboy, you know what I mean? I don't even know how we got on Youngboy to be cool, but
we had to play that back.
huh?
I said we had to probably play that back.
Yeah.
Well, we was talking about artists, dog, but I was talking about how I wanted a lot of these dudes to stay clean, period. You know what I'm saying? Stop saying things that's going to get them these cases.
Oh,
you know
yeah.
Bring that heat on them.
That's what I was going to ask you, too. What do you think? Oh, yeah, because you asked me about the Mansa, and then I started thinking about, what do you think about drill music and, like, the artists that come from it? You know what I mean? Because it seems they have, like, this, I don't know, this aura around them and, like, shit just keep happening, like, around them. You know what I mean? If it's New York, you know, with Pop Smoke, or if it's in Chicago, because we were just talking about King Von and everything. So
they tapping into them frequencies. I mean, it's just like when you play certain music and it hit that certain tone, and you come, it's just like back to NBA Youngboy. You got that pain. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's going to feel that, and it's going to be very present, no matter how you say it at that point, because everything else is already positioned in the right place. Yeah. So you already mentally you came from that point, and it's like everything else that you were saying, it just fit with the beat. But that's what they come with.
I read or saw this somewhere. I can't remember, and I hate that I don't have a reference for this, but like they said, you know, like the beats, like why hip hop and shit can be like so aggressive sometimes, because those 808s or whatever and shit, they're like very similar to like the war drums of our ancestors. Like when they was getting ready to go to war with another tribe or something, there's like beats they play, and those rhythms are like what go like run through us, and they hit certain emotions and shit like that.
That's why I was saying when you tap into certain frequencies.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
exactly. But
there's a higher and a lower response. Like you can really have something that's really bass heavy where you just feel it and you don't hear it. But a lot of people don't even know how they even engineer their shit like that. So
yeah. But if that's true though, that it go back, because like our ancestors were like real in tune with nature, and you know, like sounds and everything was one and all this type of stuff. And if those war drums that they created of those beats did get, you know, the warriors and tribe amped up and shit like that, you know, and it's the same thing that we use in our music today, it would explain like a lot of fights and shit that you know, calls from Nook from your buck and goddamn and songs like that.
There's a whole YouTube video about that, about like songs like that. In Chicago, you couldn't play Knuckin' for your buck, you couldn't play anything in Bone Crusher, you couldn't play a lot of Lil Jon, a lot of that crunk music, you couldn't play none of that shit.
I had a lot of fights.
Because we already knew, hey, if it get played, it's for sure played at the end of the party, because it's for sure it's going down. You know what I'm saying? It's going down in the basement at a venue. It don't give a fuck. Like it's going to go down. You play any of them songs, bro, from Milwaukee all the way down to like Kankakee.
Hey, say my nigga, Big Tuck had a song out of Dallas. It was Big Tuck and Tum Tum, I think, if I'm not mistaken. I'm trying to remember the name of the song right now, and I know my niggas gonna be blowing me up like, my nigga, you know that fucking song? We had so many fights and shit. But every time they played this shit, my nigga, I don't give a fuck. It was this one summer, like when that shit was like real hot. I was probably like, I don't know, I was young. I might not even been out of high school. No, I was probably about 19 maybe or whatever. But the song had been out for a while, but I had just started going to clubs, and that song was always popping, right? The DJ knows some shit is going to pop off, my nigga, if this song is played. And yet, they had to play this motherfucker because it was like they was killing with this song. What the fuck was the name of it? I don't know. Before this podcast is over, I'm gonna think about this motherfucker and I'm gonna say it. But do something. Do something. Yeah. That's what that motherfucker's called. But when that motherfucker came on, oh my God, my nigga. I had at least 7 brawls to that motherfucker. Like at least 7. I'm talking about in a one summer span, my nigga.
Like a mosh pit?
We couldn't even wear white tees to the club no more. Like they banned white tees for everybody.
Yeah, I think that was a universal thing.
Because me and my niggas was like this one specific club though. Like it was like 3-4 weeks in a row. Like the niggas with white tees. Like we was gonna be there. As soon as that motherfucking song came on, man, that shit was crazy. Man, back in the day, bro. But I'm mature now, people. Like, that's my wild old days, man. I'm back on it, you know what I mean? Boy, trying to invest in shit on reading books and, you know, all that good shit. But back in the day when I was like NBA young boy age, oh, my God. I was trying to take a nigga head off in this bitch, man. I'm good now, though. But anyway, though, is anybody else you on, though?
Man. Honestly, the person I listen to the most are all my niggas, bro.
All your niggas?
All my niggas. Like Lona.
I fuck with that, though.
Bro, have you heard his album?
Loyal to the game.
Have you heard Lona's album?
Oh, yeah, Lona. Yeah, definitely. His last
Heart of the Summer?
That one I haven't heard all the way through yet, but I heard a couple tracks on it. But his last project last summer, though, I definitely checked that one out, though.
Bro, you got to play this one, man. He just dropped it almost about a month ago. You know,
it's called The Heart of the Summer.
Yes, man. Please play that. Please play that. I'm talking about, if you don't feel that, bro, I'll start making music. Like, straight up. I'll quit. Because you can't not do it. You can't not feel none of that, bro.
Nah, dude dope, though, man. Like, dude is really dope, though, because that project he dropped last summer or whatever was fire, though, you know, and I was like, shit, this is a really good fucking little album right here, bro. Like,
even his singles, you know what I'm saying? A lot of his singles, you know what I'm saying, they be so relative that you be like, damn, I'm really having a bad day, but this song really got me through my, you know what I'm saying, my little issue right now.
Yeah, like I'm definitely going to get the whole project and check out the whole project, though, for sure.
Man, please. You know what I'm saying? Everybody check that out. Heart of the Summer by Lona.
Oh, where's he from?
He from the H.
Oh, he from the H?
From the H.
I definitely fuck with that thing. You know what I mean? That right there is like, that whole H vibe is, my hometown, we get our swagger from the H, really, though. Like,
man, he's so different, though. I'm talking about, don't nobody sound like this, bro. Don't nobody sound like this.
I'm definitely going now I'm definitely going to check out the whole project in full now. I was already going to, but now I want to, you know, speed up that process now.
Yeah, we're going to talk about it next time.
Because this is the second time since I talked to you in the last couple of weeks that you hyped it up. So I'm definitely going to jump on that, though. So what do you think about your boy, Lil Bibby, jumping back out there and saying that Juice WRLD would have been as big as Kanye?
Now that I've been listening to Juice WRLD as of recently, since you brought that up, I've been playing his stuff like at least twice a week. And I'm like,
really?
Damn, bro. He really, I really felt that. You know what I'm saying? Because even though he was talking about drugs a lot, whatever, But like, bro, you really his music, the way he'll say things, the way you could feel what he's saying, even though you may not, you know what I'm saying, sip lean or whatever. It's like, bro, like I feel that. So with Bibby coming back out, I think it's a very good look for Chicago. Because you know what I'm saying? Like again, bro, like I don't feel like we got a lot of artists that's like out there right now. Like, you know, shout out to Sosa. You know what I'm saying? You could just say Sosa anywhere and everybody, oh shit, Chief Keef, nigga, that's my nigga. But like, who else can we say right now? King Von? I mean, everybody don't know King Von yet.
King Von, Lil Durk, a legend out here.
Okay, Lil Durk.
You got,
you know what I'm saying?
You got
King Dewey. I'm waiting for King Dewey to do something like big, bro.
Who?
King Louis. See?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Nah, I know you talking
so
about.
Like,
I just
bro,
said, you know, I'm just saying.
And that's no shade to him. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, man, he had so much shit going. It's just like, man, like, is he still working?
On the cool is like when Chicago started to slide off with dropping artist after artist, New York picked back up again though, heavy though.
Yeah,
they got like a few young ones that's coming. That's coming. Yeah. I'm trying to see. I want to see what Lil Bibby do though. I ain't heard him in a minute. Wasn't Juice WRLD signed to him, right?
I'm not sure.
I'm pretty sure he was signed Juice WRLD, like through Bibby and through somebody else as well too. But that'll be. I don't know. I ain't really listen to Juice WRLD like that. Like I was starting to kind of like the same way with Juice WRLD and Pop Smoke was kind of like the same to me. Like I wasn't really listening. I had heard their songs, of course, because they was on the radio, you know, all the time. But I hadn't really.
Then I regretted it. I was like, damn, I ain't even get them niggas
exactly. Exactly.
Because I ain't gonna lie, I feel shitty about that.
Pop Smoke album just went back #1, huh?
I ain't hear
that. That's crazy. Like, that's crazy. That nigga shit is. That's crazy. Like, post-death, his shit went through the roof. Like, this probably would have been his album of that just drove him through the stratosphere. You know what I mean? But it's a few artists though that's having years that's kind of like going on that. I would say the baby, he kind of, you know, still having his year was last year really that took him over the top. But this year's Lil Baby. Lil Baby been bodying everything.
I was just online looking that up. And I said I was just online looking some of this stuff up. Let me see real quick if I still got this tablet up.
I know Lil Baby popping. Well, he been popping, but he been murdering it this year from his album to all his features that he dropped. And then you got the whole Griselda movement. Like I talked about them a couple times on the podcast, but I haven't talked to anybody that's actually, you know, a producer and shit. What do you think about that whole movement?
About which movement?
The whole Griselda movement with, you know, Conway the Machine, Benny the Butcher, Westside Gun, Monty Caesar. Huh?
I haven't been in tune with them at all, like, outside the stuff that I may hear on the radio.
You don't pay attention to Griselda? Oh, you wildin', bro. What you missing?
I be trying to tell you, bro. I be trying to be in my own little world.
They ain't even mainstream, though.
I'm trying to do some really, like, synthy, weird shit, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm trying to blend some shit together that is gonna be like, damn, this nigga really known for that, yo.
I recommend you go listen to Griselda, though. I think you'll really like him, though. Like, Westside Gun, he kind of like a weird little genius. Like, and then they always got content that's like on par with the shit you be talking about. Like, yeah, man, they got a whole little thing going, and it's really vibing. Like, even their album covers and shit be like just like yeah, artwork is real creative. The beats are spectacular. Like, their production is second to none, man. They be killing it.
I've been liking Toby.
Toby Fire out of
What's
Houston
his
as
name?
well.
Toby New Weekly.
I ain't even gonna try and say his name because I know I'm a butcher.
My bad, Toby, man. Damn. But no, he is raw.
Yeah, from the H, man, the boy's that boy Fire. He's super creative. He got his wife on every video, like on some of his songs and tracks. I know that one song, Beyonce Fire, she killed her verse.
I've been wanting to look up the video to that.
Yeah, it's fire, man. It's like a whole dance routine and like all that.
Called Journey to Heaven.
It's shot beautifully, bro. Like, they really whole team. Like, the beat is made by his normal producer. You know, he got a whole female crew black female crew, and they just be killing it, bro. Like, they be killing it for real. They be crushing it. Shout out Toby, man. Shout out H. He should be bigger, especially now, because the content of his music is
I think you should watch his he has a concert on Apple.
Concert.
Yeah, me and my wife had watched the concert on it's like a 2.5-hour concert, bro.
Where?
I have to ask her, bro. You could literally like pay to stream it. I think it was like a couple bucks, whatever, but it was worth it. I'm talking about like whole live performance, G.
Oh, so this was recently?
Yeah.
Like when?
Shit. We watched it like 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago? I'm going to have to go peep that shit out then. Go check it out. If it's on his website or something like that, you know.
But it is long, you know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah, but Toby highly slept on though, man. Like, and I don't even know why, because from an artistic perspective, his content, like his visuals, everything is just on point, man. It's on point. And he always talking about some shit, and he keep it real, you know. Froed out, bearded up, house shoes on, everywhere you go, killing it, goddamn. I respect it. I respect this whole movement, though. And he should be bigger right now, too, because them the type of artists that we need out here. Him.
He gonna blow, trust.
Huh?
I said, trust. He is about to blow if he ain't already blowing on the low.
But see, I thought he was, since he was on the BET site for like 3 years ago or whatever, on the BET Awards or whatever. Not the BET Awards, but the BET Hip Hop Awards or whatever. And that was like 3 years ago, because that was my introduction to him. Like, I didn't really know who he was, but in the cipher, it said Houston, Texas on it, you know. And I'm like, who is this right here? Like, right in the backyard, my nigga. Like, what am I missing out on? And he had on house shoes and shit and some fucking Nike slides that I was wearing at the time, like almost every day. So I was like, oh, okay. He really hometown, you know what I mean? So, yeah, but he ain't pop like I thought he would, but I'm pretty sure his fan base is very well, like, buying up all this shit, you know what I mean? Like his merch and all that type of stuff, because they got like a loyal fan base though, you know what I mean? So they're going to be able to tour and sell records shit for years and years to come. Quality content, kids, that's what it's all about. Quality content live on for years.
Marketability.
Yes, sir. But let's switch it up a little bit, because I know, you know what I mean, we got you on here and you super opinionated and outspoken on all your social media platforms and shit. So I ain't talked to you in a while on the podcast, and I know the people probably want to hear a good rant right now. So we're going to go ahead and give them one. We're going to talk about these 2020 elections. What you feeling? Who you on? What side you on, I should say, or whatever, or if you are on the side at all. And what about these elections are you fucking with?
I already voted, bro.
You already voted?
I would suggest, if you're going to vote, I pray y'all vote. You know what I'm saying? I ain't going to tell you who to vote for. You know what I'm saying? I hope you got enough common sense on your own to know who you should be voting for. You know what I'm saying? But man, what can we say?
What can we say? We can say a lot.
You
But
can't
I want
say
to
a
know
lot
what you want to
because,
say.
I mean, you can start from the obvious, which is like you want to vote for, you know, Biden just because he's the lesser evil.
Is he the lesser evil?
He's less, dog. I'm not gonna keep dealing with this racist shit. I'm not. You know what I'm saying? Either we gonna all have a whole kumbaya moment, or you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna take the streets and it's gonna be a whole moment.
So you think it won't be racist with Biden?
I think it's gonna take a little bit to reel that whole reality away. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not gonna just replace the president and be like, oh, white people are cool again. Nah. Cause you know what I'm saying? Like,
cool again. This nigga said again. I didn't know what was that.
No, real cool. You know what I'm saying? When it fit. You know what I'm saying? This is not all white people. You know the ones I'm talking about.
Of course. Like, I know. I'm just
y'all want to play the line when it's like, oh, well, we can say this shit out loud out in public, but then when you gotta go to work, you know what I'm saying? You tuck your shirt in, you walk down the street or the hall, and you know what I'm saying? You put your little heads down like somebody ain't there walking down the hall looking at you. That's about my size or your size, and they ain't gonna render hello, how you doing or nothing. They gonna look the other way. I'm like, dang. Excuse me, though, people.
Well, while we sit here waiting on him to tear up whatever he's tearing up over there, you fucking up shit. What's going on over there, man?
I had to close the window. They out there cutting grass.
Oh, okay. Grass. Sound like an old ass man over there. Yeah, they're cutting grass. But yeah, so you voted for Biden. I can tell.
I did.
And that's good, my G. I hope the majority follow your lead, you know, because even though I don't think much gonna change, I just don't like Trump making us a laughing stock because he ain't really a political person. He just
the damage is done.
Oh, the damage is done, but what the right people in office can do is like right the ship. You know what I mean? Like they can get things back on track. But if we go through a second term with Trump, like the world gonna know, like, oh, y'all fucking up for real. Like, you know, so I think with Biden,
people's ulterior motives, man.
They can start writing the ship. And I also want to see if like what these people that are talking about, like if Trump gets out of office, they're gonna do this and they're gonna do that. Yeah, I kind of want to see what they're going. I kind of want to see, bro, because
hey, you already know, kind of, man. Look, hey, I done told y'all for months. If you ain't got one, you're too late.
My nigga, oh shit.
If you ain't got one, you're too late, Whoa.
I'm saying, well, luckily we in Texas, so them hoes ain't hard to come by. And
oh no, they hard to come by. You forgot I worked at the gun range. There was no ammo and there was no bullets since well, there ain't been no guns since like February.
My nigga, like I'm saying, this is Texas. They ain't hard to come by. That's all I'm gonna say. And I'm gonna leave that there, my dude. But I feel you, the gun range is probably sold out and shit. But it's certain guns on the streets that the gun range ain't even got. But you know, I don't know. I just want to see what they really talking about and see where their heart really at. Cause
you know where their heart at. You know what I'm saying?
This shit pop off. Like
I just want to.
They really trip out like that, huh?
I said I just want to pump that heart a little bit. Like, hey, we might as well get to it, cause we ain't finna like think about it, bro. Cause we even if you replace the president, bro, we have a reality that there's a racial tension in this country. And seeing that by default I am black and hated on for all my greatness, I don't think that I could see a world raising my two beautiful sons and, you know what I'm saying, future kids to come in a society where they still got to go through the white gaze. They got to go through this whole facade. They got to be a little quiet when they go over here, You gotta look like this, tuck your shirt in, do this, do that, like the white folks, and be on time. Like, okay, there are certain principles in life that you need to instill in your kids, but I'm not trying to really raise my kids that they gotta, one, work for somebody else. That's, if I'm doing that, then I already failed as a father. To go work for another person, you sound like a fucking fool if you're raising your kids to work for somebody else. What the hell you got going on that you can't employ your kids? One, for a tax write-off. Two, to motherfucking pass on the legacy. And three, to build some kind of principle and establishment within them so they can be a better person to society. It ain't about you at the end of the day. They're going to go off and get their own shit. So whatever you put into them when they're
They want to
young,
be doctors, though.
that's what matters. Huh?
What if they want to be like a doctor or a lawyer or something?
Instill those things. Expose your kids to those things. Don't just say, hey, you know, I'm gonna put them in this school across town and think that's a quick fix. No, because that's just, hey, they go to school like daycare essentially because they're with the teacher more than they are with you. So it ain't the school. It's what other things are you exposing them to? You know what I'm saying? Other curricular activities, far as, hey, if you do want to be a doctor or a dentist or a lawyer, this is how realistic it is going to be for you to achieve these things. And more so, how about you stop bullshitting these kids' time and make it to where they can learn these things at a much earlier age, to where they're not graduating college at 23, 27, 30, and so on and so forth. We need to be learning these things when we're young because the mind is so fragile, but it's so, not fragile, but it's so, what's the word I'm looking for? It's so precious, to say that. The mind is so precious when it's young that, you know what I'm saying, whatever you put into it, that's why kids mimic everything they do. So we keep putting our kids in front of all these TVs, these computer screens and everything else, and we're like, oh yeah, they're gonna grow up and be a doctor. No, the fuck they're not. They're gonna cheat and fucking cliff note their ass through high school. They're gonna go to college and figure out that, you know, it's gonna take a lot more work than that. And then they're gonna fuck around, change their major a couple times because a lot of them don't have the intestinal fortitude to persevere and make things work, because they got mom and dad holding their fucking hand the whole goddamn time. I didn't have that shit. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people who ain't have that and don't have that. So the reality that a lot of people are always going to be ahead because of a financial gain and a benefit, it does not serve any of our kids a justice when we got piss poor school systems. Change the whole fucking school system, teach them real practical skills. I mean, more STEM schools, whatever y'all think is going to work, that's not what, in my opinion, will work, but whatever. Teach them more things that are more practical so they can be more self-sufficient, so they can know, how does the economy really work? How does the dollar work? How can I make this dollar work for me? How do I really spend my money? Is this worth me spending my money? If I'm going to spend my money, how much of an investment am I getting on the return of it? If I shop with Nike, do I have Nike stocks? You know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm shopping with my homeboy, you know what I'm saying, am I asking for a discount, or am I going to bless him with a little more? You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I know he just started his business a month ago. You know what I'm saying? Stop being a whole ass nigga out here. You know what I'm saying? Do better for yourself and your family.
Yeah, I don't have any kids, but I got a lot of nieces and nephews and shit. And from what I'll just see and what I take from it is like, everybody is out here trying to figure it out as they go. You know, the more they know, the more they can teach their kids. Like, you are, you know, a part of the new generation of parents and stuff like that that are doing more things like that, and especially Black parents. Like, all the young Black parents I know, they're into that type of thing, you know, not just letting schools teach them, excelling them with homeschooling and shit like that, so they can get done with school faster. Because in other countries like Africa and shit like that, specifically like in Nigeria and stuff, like, their school system is on a much accelerated. Like, my homeboy who was on the podcast not that long ago, to all the listeners or whatever, y'all know Abadi, and we talked about it a little bit then, but when I was finishing my undergrad or whatever, like, he was already like working on, almost done with his master's, and he was younger than me or whatever. And that's because he finished school over there is so much more faster. And then when he came over here, he was in college, like taking his undergrad when he was still a teenager, like he was like
At
16 or
16,
17 or some shit like that.
that's
So
the standard. And
so
that's
by
why
the
I'm like always
time
so
he
behind.
was like 21, 22, he was already almost done with his master's degree and shit like that. And now he's a top engineer running a whole rig and shit like that, making bukus, guap and all that shit like that. But yeah, so I understand what you're saying. Ownerships, I think most parents nowadays want, especially black parents, want their kids to go towards ownership and try and give them the tools they need to start thinking about that and try and start them off with learning things earlier, because now that we know that kids can, for sure learn so much more things at earlier ages, and easier too, because the brain is firing off so much faster as a child than it is once you like even in your mid 20s, so like a kid can learn so much easier, um pretty much any subject as a child, in those younger years. So I feel what you're saying, and when I do have kids, like it's gonna be I want them to go to school so they can have, experiences just with everyday life, but they'll have like a secondary school and I'll move them up if need be, take whatever tests need to be taken to get moved up if they are advanced or if they are just one of the kids or whatever and just, trying to figure himself out, then that's cool too. I'm not really tripping on
Like
trying to,
that, like that.
on, I ain't really tripping on trying to force them to be, I don't want my kids to feel like they forcing anything, but I'm gonna feed them as much information as possible. So that's all we can really do because they are little humans. Even though they're your kids, they're still people and their own people. So you know what I
Hey,
mean?
by you taking the time as a father and showing them whatever you're gonna show them, that's gonna go way further than anybody else
Oh yeah,
because
facts.
you're their
Yeah,
father. So you
yeah,
could
facts.
you could open up a book and just start reading to them about engineering or whatever, and they be like, "Oh yeah, my dad taught me this stuff." And you don't
Yeah.
know shit about that shit, but because you was reading it, they was like, "Oh yeah, so yeah, so I'm gonna teach you this later, and it's gonna be on the test."
Mm-hmm.
And you just start quizzing them and just challenging in their mind. Like my kids, they set up for success. Like my wife, man, she's so educated, bro. Like I ain't gotta do no work. You know what I'm saying? Like I could just be like, hey man, your homework done, that's it, bro. Don't even ask me for no math stuff. You need to talk to her or your uncle for that stuff. Or your
Yeah.
godfather. Because I'm not an engineer. Math ain't my forte unless we doing a 2-4, 4-4 time in music. You feel me? So
Yeah. I
you know,
feel you.
all that school stuff, I ain't that. But I do want to get into coaching, not to deflect. You know what I'm saying? I see myself doing that, but all that other educational stuff, if I ain't doing field trips, that ain't me.
Yeah, I'm like the educational uncle, so I give books and shit, you know what I mean, for my nieces and nephews. And I give, regular presents too as well for birthdays and holidays. But I give them just spring up with books and shit for them to read, and they love it. Like they all pretty much adapted to it. My oldest niece, she 11 now, about to be 12. She killing it. And softball, she already on the junior USA team and shit, and make straight A's. So she
Sheesh.
read everything I give her. So I'm super proud of her and she killing it. But
Yeah,
yeah. So I'm trying to learn as I go, but I'm trying to learn as much as I can so I could teach my future kids and my nieces and nephews right now or whatever. Because I just want them to learn all those lessons that we didn't get to learn as kids and shit, and we got a late head start some. And I'm pretty sure that's what you're trying to get at, just giving your kids head starts in life so they can accomplish whatever they're trying to accomplish or be whatever they're trying to be at a faster rate, and be above par no matter what color they are. Just, be prepared for this world. And that's all we can ever do is hope for as uncles and parents and all that shit. It's just hope that we prepare them for the world because the world's going to come to them one way or another. Like we were saying earlier, all we can do is prepare them. So that's what I talk to my siblings about all the time. Cause I be talking to them about parenting and shit like that because, I want to be prepared when I get ready to have kids because I do want them, and so I'm just trying to be prepared for that situation. So, you know, I might ask you questions throughout the years and shit, in the next year or two if I do decide to have one or something, you know what I mean? But I'm just trying to get information. But yeah, but I don't know how we got on kids, but you you voted for Biden, my nigga, and that's good. Everybody go out there and vote. You can vote early. My boy already did over
I
here.
ain't got no excuse not to vote early. You got
No
a whole
excuse.
month
And you
there.
should go vote early because, they limited the number of voting polls and shit like that. They took a bunch of them away. I think in Texas they took like 200 polls away and shit like that. So go vote early. Don't wait till the last minute because the lines are probably gonna be hectic and crazy. And if they cannot count your vote, they will not count that motherfucker because they probably don't want you to vote anyway. They want to rig this shit. I wonder what's gonna happen if Trump lose though. Like, is he just gonna exit?
Oh, boy, he said he's not leaving like that.
I don't think he that type of dude,
And he already
man.
said,
I think he
man,
gonna put on a show, my nigga. Like, he gonna do something.
he said, "Good boys, stand back and stand by."
Man, I'm waiting to see what pop off. Like, I'm not excited for it, but I'm like, it's like a fucking car crash. Like, you just like, oh, this shit finna be heavy. I should look away. I can't look
Transmission
away
about
though.
to fall out.
I can't. Like, it's gonna be body parts of this motherfucking shit, but I cannot look away from this
Hey,
motherfucking car wreck, bro. I don't know, man. But
Hey.
goddamn, my boy, we've been going for a bit now. We're gonna get ready to go ahead and wrap this up though. But tell the people where they can reach you at if you got any new projects on the way. If it's a last message you want to leave them with, or something like that. Go ahead and holler at the people real quick.
You can find me at IG at King IU_beats and Twitter at King IU or King_. IU. That's Twitter.
And if y'all need them beats, holler at my boy, man. He out here. He currently making the next Raw Brilliance intro beat for me right now. A little personal mix up, from King IU himself. It's gonna be featured on the show here pretty soon. We're gonna get that out. As far as me, y'all know where to reach me at Mansa_JK. That's on Instagram, all lowercase. On Twitter, it's uppercase M, uppercase JK. And on social media, on Facebook, Facebook/Raw Brilliance Media. And the website, of course, to go get more content, articles, videos, all types of shit from hip hop world and community, merch, all that shit. www.rawbrilliancemedia.com. And and on the next podcast, y'all can expect a couple new announcements that I was telling y'all about last one. This one dropped in between of our normal Sunday podcast or whatever. So the Sunday one, on Sunday, y'all can expect some announcements about what we got coming next and all that good stuff. But y'all know who we are. Thank y'all once again for joining us. This is Raw Brilliance. We out this thing, bro.
Peace.
Yeah.